You know, we are smack in the middle of a massive shift in artificial intelligence. We're going way beyond AI that just gives us answers, to AI that actually does things. And that leap, it's from assistants to agents. And believe me, it's about to change, well, pretty much everything.
This quote right here absolutely nails it. We're not just talking about getting smarter chatbots. We're talking about taking the incredible reasoning power of language models and embedding it into a totally new class of software, one that can actually do stuff out in the real world. Okay, so to really get our heads around this, let's look at how agents are different from the AI you and I use every day. And this isn't just a minor upgrade, it's a totally different beast.
For the longest time, AI has been this kind of passive thing, right? You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. You give it a prompt, it makes a picture. Every single step needs you to tell it what to do next. But agents? They're a whole different ballgame. They're active, they're autonomous. You give them a goal, something like, plan my entire trip to Tokyo, and they can figure out all the little steps to make it happen, all by themselves.
Okay, so let's really get into this. To understand how an agent actually works, let's just build one from the ground up. We'll start with its three core parts. Think of it like we're putting together the brain, the hands, and the nervous system.
First things first, every agent needs a brain. This is its core language model. Think of something like Gemini. This is the part that does all the heavy lifting, the reasoning, the planning, basically all the thinking.
But a brain sitting in a jar can't do much, can it? It needs hands to actually interact with the world. For an agent, these are its tools. And these could be anything. An API to connect to your calendar, a function to search a database, even just the ability to browse the web. Tools are what turn the agent's big ideas into actual actions.
All right, so we have a brain and we have hands. What's missing? The nervous system that connects them. And that's exactly what the orchestration layer is. It's the code that's running the whole show, managing the agent's memory and making that crucial decision of when to think and when to act.
So we've got the parts of our bot laid out, right? A brain, some hands, and a nervous system. But how do they actually, work together to get something done? Well, it all boils down to a really simple, powerful, repeating loop.
So how does an agent actually think? It's a great question. And the answer is, it's not some one-and-done thing. It's more like a constant cycle, a feedback loop, where it looks, it acts, it learns, and then it does it all over again. Let's see what that looks like.
This breaks that loop down beautifully. It all starts with a mission, right? From there, the agent takes a look around. It scans the scene to see what's going on and what tools it can use. Then it thinks up a plan, takes a shot, and then, and this is the really important part, it observes what happened. That observation is what fuels the next cycle, letting it learn and get smarter with every single step.
Let's make this super concrete with a customer support example. Somebody asks, "Where's my order?" The mission? Crystal clear. The agent scans its tool belt and sees, okay, I can check our database and I can talk to the shipping company's API. So it thinks and comes up with a plan. 1, find the order. 2, get the tracking. 3, tell the user. Then, boom, it takes action, calls the database, it observes the result, gets the tracking number, and iterates, calling the shipping API. It sees the final status is out for delivery and generates the perfect answer. Job done.
So that loop we just talked about, that's the engine for every agent. But, and this is a big but, not all agents are built the same. You can think of their abilities as levels in a video game, each one more powerful than the last.
This pyramid really shows that journey perfectly. We start at the very bottom with just a basic reasoning engine, and we build our way up, layer by layer, getting more and more sophisticated until you get to a system that can basically improve itself.
So at the very bottom, level 0, you've just got the brain, the language model, all by itself. It knows a ton of stuff from its training. It could write you an essay on the history of baseball, no problem. But ask it who won last night's game? Crickets. It's totally cut off from the real, live world.
Okay, now at level 1, we give our agent its very first tool, let's say access to a search engine, and suddenly it can tell you the score. It knows it needs live info, it uses its new search tool to look it up, sees the result, and boom, it gives you the answer. It's now officially connected to reality.
This is where things get really cool. At level 2, the agent becomes a strategist. It can handle multi-step plans. So if you ask it something tricky like, hey, find me a good coffee shop halfway between my office and my clients, it can actually figure that out. It has to, first, calculate the midpoint. Second, search for highly rated coffee shops in that specific area. And third, show you the best options. That's a real plan.
At level 3, the whole game changes. Instead of one agent trying to be a jack of all trades, you get a team of specialists. It's like a little company. You might have a project manager agent running a product launch, but it doesn't do the work itself. Nope, it delegates. It tells a market research agent to check out the competition, a marketing agent to write the press release, and a web dev agent to build the landing page. It's all about collaboration.
And this brings us to the very top of the pyramid. Level 4, the self-evolving system. This is mind-blowing. This agent doesn't just delegate, it creates. So, if our project manager agent realizes, hey, I need to track what people are saying on social media, but I don't have a tool for that, a Level 4 system can literally build a brand new sentiment analysis agent right there on the fly to fill that gap. It's a system that's actually improving itself.
So this climb from a simple tool to a system that builds itself is, it's incredibly powerful. But as you can imagine, with that kind of power comes a whole new set of very real, very complex challenges.
If we want businesses to actually rely on these things, we have to solve these huge hurdles. First, security. How do you give an agent that much power without it going off the rails? Then there's governance. How do you manage a whole fleet of these things without total chaos? Interoperability is another big one. How do you get agents built by different teams to even talk to each other? And of course, the bottom line. How do we make them reliable and cost-effective enough to actually use? Solving all of that, that's the next great frontier. And it leaves us with this one final, really fascinating question. If an AI can act on its own, if it can plan, collaborate, and even evolve, are we just building a better tool, or are we actually creating a whole new kind of digital colleague? That's the future we're walking into right now.